Hey everybody, we're picking up right where we left off with Stationeers Europa. Things are a little bit spicy. We are running out of power, we are low on water and food, but our base is coming along quite nicely. We're going to move our solid fuel generator outside as our first point of order today. So why don't we cycle to the exterior, and that way we can safely burn coal without worrying about dumping a bunch of pollutants into our base. We are probably going to print out a wall heater fairly soon and just dump a bunch of raw heat into the room without worrying too much about the consequences thereof. Not exactly a long-term solution, but it might work. Alright, perfect. There's our generator. We'll stick it outside. And now we can put things in the back here. A little bit more out of the way, but that's alright, you know? For the peace of mind of knowing we don't have to breathe a bunch of chlorine every time we burn the coal. I mean, it doesn't explicitly call it chlorine, the game calls it pollutant, but I mean, you can run the numbers on it. Alright, let's do half our coal and burn that. And that's just going to keep the lights on in there, because now the airlock is going to passively drain our batteries. And we're here just in time for the sunrise. Alright, so the first thing I want to do today is get our electronic printer running. Once we have that, we can start looking at more permanent power solutions. Because right now, we are running on fumes, man, and it's not good for the long-term health of this series. Or this YouTuber, to be completely honest. It's a very stressful time right now. This additional APC, we're just going to put into storage for the moment. We don't need it right now. And we're going to pick up all this extra cabling, because we're going to be rerouting stuff slightly today. It's going to run off of this one, and then we've got everything running off of one battery, which is just going to make things a little bit simpler to manage logistically. We'll just run that all the way down. We are going to have to print out some more cables and sheets and all sorts of things in order to make this work, so let's queue those up. At the very least, we're going to need 3 more cables to actually construct this device. That's going to be our electronics printer. Okay, so the goals for today's episode are pretty straightforward. I want to get the very basics of water production up and running, as well as some more secure power. Any amount of renewable power, even if it's just like 3 wind generators, is going to cut it for me. So that's what we're going to aim for. I printed up a couple of extra sheets because there is one more tool bench. Oh, we also want to get our 4th and final tool bench as well. That would be nice. Which is the tool manufactory. Tool manufactory is really good at building tools, turns out. Go figure, right? But yeah, it is. The electroplint is also a lot more efficient at making copper cables than anybody else. Alright, so let's have a look at our power production options. If I go to wind, upright wind turbine, we need 10 iron, 5 gold, 10 copper. We can actually make some of those right now. And I think I want to make 3. Or 4. This is going to provide us just a little trickle of power, and I think it's going to be really, really helpful. We can run them out that way. Now, of course, in order to make those, we're going to need frames to put them on. We have 8. This is good intel. With 8 frames, I'm going to probably need 8 sheets at minimum. And that means I'm going to need 8 grams of iron. So we've got just enough. Like, just enough. Oh, and I see some more. Is that copper? I think that's copper in the distance. Although, actually, I suppose we don't actually have to put all, 8 frames down. I think I'm gonna print up 4 of these. Go big or go home, I guess. And then a whole bunch of copper cabling. Okay, great. Now just make me, like, a ton of cable coils. But first, pop out the iron. Because we need 2 more iron sheets. Sheets. There we go. And then the cable coil can get put back in here, and you make me some cables. Perfect. We're going to need all of these sheets at some point anyway, so I don't mind making them now. And we're going to need a whole lot of this. I'm actually just going to leave that running while we're out. And we will burn the last of this while we're out there as well. And of course, with each piece we make, we are producing more and more heat in this room, which slowly but surely increases our output. It's great. Or increases our base's stability, rather. Okay, let's do 4 out, and we'll do a couple across, because I'm probably going to want to build some other infrastructure out here with this. Actually, I'm just going to commit. You are going to be these. And we'll build those when we have the time for it. Perfect. And then commit me some of these. Okay, I think I'm going to do them this way so we can link up with that cable. So we'll do one there. We'll do... Oh, we can fit a lot of these in here. Oh, nice. I don't think there's a placement distance that they need to reach. I think they can just sort of be placed. But I do realize I actually want to move them back one, just for aesthetic reasons. Perfect. And I think we're going to compact them as much as possible. Alright, nice. And then get me inside. We're going to cycle over to the next one. And we also need the tool manufactory so we can make another suit, because we got a little bit bumped in the previous episode. Just a touch. Oh yeah, that's a little bit of cable. That should do it. We can probably stop that now. And we actually have a full stack. I mean, we're going to need all of this, so I'm not... you always need more copper cable. It's not like any of that was just wasted. So don't stress. And despite what I said yesterday, I am going to drop a couple flares in here because we're just not producing it fast enough. We have heated this up by like 100 degrees by ourselves, so I don't feel like we've cheated at all. But it would be nice if we had a little bit more room. Okay, mostly because I have to do this again. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Temperature critical. Temperature low.
Yep. Oh, I should probably eat the pill, huh? Yeah, that heals my lungs. At least I'm not, like, dying now. And we're going to consume a little bit more.
Power low.
And we're going to close things up. Okay, cool. We are fully eaten and fed. Perfect. We can turn off these machines. They don't need to run. Very bright in here. We're going to plumb up the rest of that, and that should give us nice passive production of power. It's not going to be much, but it is constant. So as long as we are careful with how much we consume, we should be okay. And besides, we're going to need a lot more resources in order to expand anyway, so we need to go mining. Alright, but I'm going to plug these in right now, after we just clear the floor a bit here so we can actually see what we're doing. Let's just dig this down a little. Okay, perfect. That should make it a bit more comfortable to actually move around. Okay, with all of these wired up, we can now go off and get some resources. We need to desperately do a bit of mining. God knows we are running low, my dude. We are running very, very low. Okay, perfect. So, I'm not entirely sure exactly how much that's going to give us. We'll have to go get our network analyzer chip from the lander. In fact, I'll do that on my way out now. But we are now producing power passively. And when there's a storm, we'll produce like a whole lot of power very quickly. We need this one. There it is, network analyzer. I'll hold on to that for the second. And we also are going to want... I want to try out this this mining thing. Here we go. The mining units and the ore scanner insert. So we'll pop that one out. So the way this thing works is you find a node, and it like works like 10% of the time. So we'll see if this actually happens. Okay, you turn it on, you hit scan. You pop out this thing. That's an atmospheric, okay, hold on, I need to do it this way. Ore scanner. Hey, there we go. So now we can actually see where the nodes are. It's very helpful. Turn you off. Okay, cool. So now it's a good way to like find, if you're like really looking for one particular resource and you found a tiny bit and you want to make sure you get it all. It's a really powerful way to do just that. Why don't you stay in my hands? Thank you. And we can use that to dig up a whole bunch of this copper here now. Okay, I'm going to do some mining. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, we are back at the base after a little bit of mining. I seem to have managed to find 200 copper and not a single point of iron. But whatever, you take what you can get, I suppose. You can come out, take out this ore scanner. Let's use the network analyzer instead. Have a look at this. So we are currently producing... Oh, don't tell me it's 39 watts. Yeah, no, there's not much wind coming in right now. 100 watts.
Temperature low.
Oh, shit.
Temperature critical.
Oopsie. Oopsie. Let the power run out there, my bad. But we're currently producing like 100 watts of power. Yeah, but the wind power varies quite considerably. So with enough of them, you're fine.
Temperature
but
low.
We don't have enough of them. Okay.
Oxygen low.
We managed to charge that thing up to 62%, which is respectable, I suppose. I'm not going to use this thing. I really don't like it. We're going to end up selling that, I'm pretty sure. We might as well charge up these as well, since we've now got a passive power source, which is awesome. Very awesome. You can probably get changed out as well at some point, but we don't need all these. I do need to charge all my tools before they run flat on me as well. Alright, I've got a ton of copper, which I need to go smelt, but before we can smelt that, we're going to have to use up the last little bit of iron that we've got. Yeah, perfect. We have 5 grams. I think we need 3. Are we like flat? Yeah, we're like flat. It's technically on, but it's not on enough. We need to just find enough juice here. Okay, why don't we just use this for the moment? Perfect. And then he could just at least open up. Turn that off. Put this in. And make me a vent. Passive vent is perfect. And that way we can just flush out the junk that's currently sitting inside the furnace. Okay, good. Passive upgrades, people. We are going to need a bit more pipe as well. It's a good thing we actually have those extra 2 grams of iron. A 1 gram pipe, huh? Oh, we can make 4 pipes. Well, it's Christmas. Oh, there we go. We are actually charging now. Yeah, it's a bit weak, the wind power, but it does at least work. I'm probably going to swap the Atmos analyzer back in, but let's just have a look here. Yeah, we're currently producing 44 watts. Oh, God. Oh, it's so low. That's not even enough, I don't think, to offset the drain in here. Oh, we're at 12 degrees Celsius, which is fantastic. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. I'll probably turn that off then. Why don't we swap these out for now? And make sure that our mining drill has power. I don't worry about too much about the other ones. We can make a plan when it comes to it. This can get put away. What else can we clear out here? We don't need this pipe valve. The atmospheric analyzer I'm going to put in here now. We don't need this for the moment. Okay, great. We're going to need this and not much else. And since we're going, you might as well take that. And I tell you why. It's so that this can at least charge up a little bit. It'll hold a lot more juice than the other ones. And everything's off. Everything's off. Okay. We need to get a big battery going. We need to get some steel. Which means I need to find some, useful stuff, which I'm just not doing. It's killing me out here, man. Okay. So let's throw down this valve. And we're going to move this a little bit away from the furnace itself. And my reason for that is so that it's less likely to vent into our actual airlock system, because it might take a while to come out. So you can get vented. There we go. All that hot gas, high pressure gas is now pouring out of there. And it will just it'll basically what will happen is it'll just equalize its contents with the atmosphere. Which means it's going to be 45 Pascal. Where'd I put my tablet? I think I put the tablet in the wrong place. I think I meant to, I wanted to put this in the locker, and I put the tablet in the locker instead, like a goofus. Yep, that's exactly what happened. There we go. Okay, now we can see the room. Cycle me back in, and as you can see, we've cleaned out all the junk in there, which is also very nice. But yeah, I think today we focus on sorting out the power, and then we do a bit of work on getting towards water as well. But now if we look inside here, you'll see the pressure is at 43 kilopascals, same as the atmosphere, nice and low, which is just about perfect. So let's close off that valve. Nothing can share now. And now we can do another big old smelt. So we should, if I remember correctly, be able to just throw this in. And it's not processing because there's not enough pressure. Okay. What we want to do is just open that then. And all we need to do is just pop out 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. Oh, because there was oxygen in there. It was actually enough to ignite. That's cool. But what we're actually going to do is just we're going to process all of this in one big go. We can use copper for alloys and things, but I think having it right now just to work with is going to be more useful. So we're going to make 195 in one batch. That's going to be great. Plus some silicon. Obviously separately, which will be even better. Awesome. We didn't even have to use a single oxide. How cool is that? So this should be hot enough to just process it. It is. Okay, great. And I can just put these in here. And we're going to go mining. This time we're finding iron, and I'm not going home until I found all the iron. Oh my god, iron is not a myth. I have seen it. It is in front of me. Wow, we actually found a node. Oh, Lord almighty. And it's gone. No, there's some more. Okay, cool. I think I'm getting a little bit jaded here. Okay, we're back at the base with a flat battery and a whole lot of problems we need to sort out here. Probably the biggest one at the moment is that we are pretty low on power, but we did get all of the... What is this? What have we got here? Iron, coal. That's enough to make one set of steel. Iron, coal. If we can get another stack of coal and another stack of iron, we can actually make 2 batches of steel. What the hell is that noise? Oh, I'm dying of thirst. That's what's happening. Okay, that makes sense. Also, you'd think the tomato soup would give you hydration, but I guess not. Okay, I think what we should do now is actually process some of this ahead of time. Because again, we can queue it up and then flash convert it into iron, into steel, once the conditions are correct. But we got to be very careful about the ratios. It's 3 to 1, so I'm not going to add the other ones until I'm certain I'll have enough, because we need to find quite a bit more of both. Yeah, we need 48 more iron and 29 more hydrocarbon. Okay, cool. So that'll make one batch. There's some more iron, there's some more coal. Hey, there we go. We might actually have this. Okay, cool. We managed to find all of the coal and iron we needed. We now have the gold as well, which we didn't need right now. It's just sort of nice to have, really. We're also going to bring in some more water and stuff. We're probably going to have to expand the base very soon. Maybe not right now, but very, very soon. Let's go ahead and move up here. Oh, there's some more nickel sticking out. There's some more. Don't need nickel right now, but nickel and iron give you... I think it's a Constantin? Or that might be copper and nickel. Either way, there's 2. There's like Constantin and Invar. I think Invar is iron and nickel. Both of which are very useful, very powerful alloys in this game. Okay, cool. I'm going to get all this processed up. I know we're running out of water, but we'll just take a bit of health damage. We'll be fine. We'll be fine at the end of it. This is to just try and ensure... We could actually make another 30. We have a little bit extra, but I'll do that as a separate batch. So this should make 400 steel in one flash. Okay, and the way we do that is simply to do... we want 6... I usually do a 6 to 3 burn here. Bang. And as that climbs, as long as it doesn't go over 20 megapascals, we should be fine. Temperature is climbing. Looking good. It's over 800. I think we need to get it to 900 or so. I don't remember the exact specifications for this. The pressure's going to be really high. We can vent a bit if it gets too high. We have that power now. Yeah, it's not burning very clean. Let's dump some more oxygen in there. Maybe that's what it needs. There we go. Now we're cooking, quite literally, with gas. Okay. White hot. Love to see that. Perfect. Temperature's climbing. And there we go. Okay, so it actually needs to be maybe be above 20 megapascals. I remember there was 20 megapascals was involved in the calculation. I just couldn't remember how. Okay, let's do that. Oh, I need to just strip one out. Okay, never mind. We can't do it. We can't do it now. We actually had to take 1 unit of iron out. It has to be exactly 3 to 1. There's no room for mistake. So it had to do 30 iron, 10 coal, but I did 31 iron, so it won't work now. And what will happen is they'll just mix into like a blob called reagent, and you can't use it until you build a special machine called a centrifuge to separate the 2 out. Okay, I'm happy with that. That was a good haul. Let's get inside. Sort out our myriad problems. We need to hydrate, we need to recharge, and we can now build ourselves some proper equipment as well, which is going to be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna just combine these. You can combine ingots by stacking them in like-minded machines. Steel is also a much more efficient building material than iron. Turn this back on. And let's hydrate. Slurp this down. We had 9 degrees in here. It's not as bad as I thought it could be. It's not as bad as it could be. You're down to 33%, huh? Okay, next up. We're going to want to do a whole bunch of water-based things. So let's do here. We're going to need water bottle fillers. I'm going to want 2 of those. Copper. Gold. We might as well combine the copper. Turn that off. Turn that off. Okay, cool. Give me 2 water bottle fillers. And we can put away the corn soup as well. That's 1. Okay, then we're also going to want an ice crusher, so we can turn frozen water into liquid water without any hassle. This can also get recharged. Let's do a general tool recharging here, I think. Oh, shit, we did not need to make 2 of those. That was a mistake. Bit of a waste of resources there, my bad. One of these is just going to get sold at some point then. You really only need 1. How much did that cost me? Barely anything. Is it really that cheap? Okay, that's fine. I don't care. We're going to need a couple of pipe radiators. We need the steel for that. There we go. Now it begins. And this is so that we can equalize the water temperature with the room temperature to bring it above freezing, because it will start freezing. Then we're also going to need a liquid tank to put it in, and I'm going to build a portable one because I'm not convinced that this is where it's going to stay. Are we out of iron? Can't really be out of iron, surely. I made a whole nother 30. Okay, I guess I'm not making the water tank anymore. We can make a canister storage for now then, at least. A bit cheaper. Yeah, it looks like we're doing more iron mining. I mean, we've got steel now, at least. They're not interchangeable, unfortunately. Okay, great. And then final piece of the puzzle, we're going to need a volume pump and some pipes. Liquid volume pump, and we're going to need liquid pipes. Probably about 20 of them, but I think we can only make 10 right now with the resources we have. And then we go pipe, kits, liquid. Alright, let's get all of this set up. We're going to jam this thing down here. You know what? This would actually be a pretty good spot to put the water, because we're kind of full up on this side. Why don't we put all of our water production over here? So, we're going to need quite a few things. But to start with, we're going to need this. This is going to be our water canister. This is where we're going to sort of unload and reload our water for hydroponics, which is this thing. I'm not going to put that in just yet because I'm not convinced that that's exactly where that's going to go. Can we put this here? We can. So we want the ice crusher's outputs to face that way. That's right. Just like that's actually fine. And then this needs 1 iron sheet, I think, to actually work. And I have no more iron. I'm going to have to literally go mining to get 1 iron sheet. Oh, that's stupid, but I love it. Okay. I mean, fair enough, right? It happens. We might as well slurp up some more before we head out. We can also do a bit more prep. So the water bottle fillers can then come... This is going to have a volume pump pushing water out from it. So we can build that. This will go this way. I think it has to first have a length of pipe. Yeah, it does. Okay, so where's my pipe? There. So this is the output. We need a single iron sheet to actually weld this thing together. So this is our output. We're going to come in like this. And then... I think I actually need to move this one. Just to make it look nice, yeah. I think we're going to have to move this. Must be careful not to remove the plate from here, because this will spontaneously implode, and all of our air will vent out from this room. Maybe we actually build this here, because then we can wrap it around. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. Bit of iterative design coming up. We're going to make this in stages until it makes sense. Okay, so we feed ice in the front, and we can run power straight there. Let's run power straight there. Oh, wait, hold on. You know what we can do? We can be lazy, and we can just get an iron plate from right here. Just like I described. Perfect. And now we can weld that in to this, and then I think we just need a screwdriver, right, to finish this off? 2 cable coils. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now we can crush ice. Then the output's going to come out of there. So we're going to want to move that like this. And then we're probably going to want to run it through a volume pump so that we can... And what that's basically going to do is going to drain everything out. Yeah, perfect. Then we can run the cabling connected to it. Oh, this is all coming together. And we'll just link it here. And I think the same goes for this side. That'll work just fine. Okay, awesome. So now we can pump out water. And we're probably going to want to do the same with the gases. But I don't actually have a gas, and I'd have to make a volume pump for that as well. Okay, then we'll set the big water tank over here. So we can put our canister storage sort of... As long as it's on this side of the pump, it doesn't matter exactly where it goes. That can just go right there. Put a little junction in. But now that'll do fine. And then, like I said, I'm probably going to want a tank over here. But we're also going to want those radiators connected. These ones. So that we can equalize the temperature of the water with the room. We heat the room up and we heat the water up. And it all works out. So now, if I put this in here, we should see that we have about 500 kilopascals of water pressure in that space. That's awesome. Then we're going to want the water bottle fillers, and we can actually put them here. I'm going to put them in the window, I think. We will have to run power to them, but that's not the end of the world. Let's do just that. We're going to do... I'm going to have to go get more... I'm going to have to go get more iron either way, I think. I don't think I'm getting away from it. Because we don't have enough pipe. But that's okay. And then we can just run this. Honestly, this should just run up. But I can't actually cut these cables from... I can't actually cut the cables from the inside, so we're going to have to run... We're going to have to go outside and do this. But I can run them through the ceiling for now. And then they can come and connect up down here or something. And if you ask me why I'm doing it like this, it's completely aesthetic, which is never something I'd recommend. But in this case, it feels worth it. Perfect. So now those both turn on. Awesome. They're just not plumbed up, so they're complaining. But that's okay. So then in order to connect them, we're going to need... Yeah, we're going to need a few pipes. And we actually kind of want to insulate those pipes, I think. So maybe we can make it, because I think you'd use steel for that, not iron. We might actually be able to produce those right now. Yeah, so this will go that way and then branch up. Then you make me pipe. Insulated pipe. Yes, you can. Steel and silicon. It's expensive, but it will stop us venting, you know, all of our heat into Europa. I kind of want the heat for me, thanks, Europa. And I need one more. Okay, that will do it. I think. It did it. Awesome. So those are now plumbed up, technically. Which means, if I'm not mistaken, we can now put these in here. And yes, listen to that glorious noise. We are actually producing water on Europa. How crazy cool is that? And I think we've actually drained our tank already. Yep. There is no water left in here whatsoever. So now we gotta melt the ice. This is what I was talking about. We put the ice in there. And this is going to produce a lot of water, but also a lot of nitrogen. As you can see, that's fairly cold. And not just that, but it's also all in here. It's all stuck in here. We want to push it all onto this side of the pipe. So we're going to turn the volume pump on. And we're just got to make sure this thing doesn't get over 10 megapascals, because it will explode. That is the pressure rating of canisters. That's why we want a large water tank to kind of even out the volume. Yeah, we might not be able to evacuate everything here. Now we'll be able to get all the water, but there's still a ton of nitrogen just vibing in here. That we're probably gonna just vent that into the base, to be completely honest. But I think we'll just leave it stored in there for the moment. This thing can take quite a bit of pressure before it pops. Okay, cool. We got a ton of water now. That's awesome. And it's going to slowly equalize with the room, which means it'll bring the room temperature down. But it will also it'll also bring the water temperature up, so that's fine. And now we got a huge giant... We basically got like a giant thermal battery for our base. Got a little bit of a heat sink we can work with. Alright, I did some welding, so you can go do your filtering. Let's make sure our tools are charged up. That's looking great. Okay, cool. So that's one job today done. The next step on our checklist, if I remember correctly, was to go out and make sure we've got at least a little bit more iron available to us. We've done water. I think I want to push the power grid out a little bit further today, maybe make a battery, and then we're going to call that happy. Although, actually, looking at the time, I think that's it, guys. I think that's all we have time for today. I'm going to round this episode out then with us going to go get some more iron, and finishing off with our water tanks, but then I think we're done. Yeah, man, the time just flies when you're solving international engineering crises. I guess so, interplanetary rather. Yeah, this is no, this is beyond the purview of nations, that's for sure. Is that copper or is that iron? That is copper. I am disappointed, and my day is ruined. God damn it, again with this shit. Oh, it's so scary. Okay, we need to print a new suit before we do any more mining. This is a new priority. And also I'm lost. That tiny little red flicker of light is the only beacon for the way home. But I did manage to get nearly 200 iron, so not all was lost in that endeavor. It was really nice to see. Okay, lovely. It's actually still pretty hot in there. I wonder if we can smelt this iron. Let's see if it'll make an ingot. No, it won't. I do have a bit more oxygen. We could just dump a bit in and see if that does anything. Be curious to tell. Nah. Okay. I need to go find some more volatiles quickly. And that will do the trick, and I think we're just going to restart the furnace. It's a little too pressurized and a little too crazy in there. I don't even want to look at the gases in there. You just know they're going to be gross. Okay, we'll do the old trick, though, of just processing everything before we vent it. I suppose we can vent it and process it. Nothing's stopping us. Woo! Okay. Something's stopping us. Is the, we basically just unleashed a bomb right in front of the base. Pressure is dropping real fast, which is great. Just how we want it. How are we doing for power, actually? Can I see my thing from here? And no, I can't. I'm thinking, why don't we just burn this coal? Just for the fun of it, you know? Okay, cool, that's done. And then we do the same old, same old. We're gonna do 5 of these. And then we'll do like 6 or 7 of these. Not a perfect ratio, but it'll be good enough just to melt some iron. And it's literally free, they're just everywhere. And there's my iron ingots. Thank you. Okay, and that's full up, so let's swap this around. Also, it's about time we did that. And let's just make sure our tool belt is actually also functional. 85%, 98%. Oh, I didn't pick up the extra wires. Whatever, doesn't matter. Let's sort out the last little bit of this puzzle here, which is going to be the tank. We need the liquid tank kit. Actually, I think I want to do the portable one. It's a little bit more involved, but it does mean that because the setup isn't permanent, right? It does mean we don't have to delete our water later. Because if you pick up like a permanent tank, it just destroys the stuff inside it. Actually, that's not true. What it'll do is it'll push the contents into the rest of the network if it's connected to one, and that has a very high chance of just kind of exploding if you don't have enough volume to absorb the pressure change. We need a liquid tank connector kit. Probably could have built this insulated now that we got the steel, but whatever. Okay, and that's all we needed. So, now we can plumb this in just like this. It's going to go right there. Our liquid tank's going to sit just there, and then we just pop out our tool belt, and we screw him in. Just like that. And then I need some more pipes in order to finish this for good. Pipe is going to be this one. And yeah, as you can tell, it's a fairly involved process, but it's not that hard to do. I'm going to do it just like this. Boom. And now we have a lot more volume on this system. So as you can see, this was at about 3 megapascals. It's now at 1.1. So we've increased the volume by about twofold, which is fantastic. Which means that it's so much, we can store so much more water now. It's not even funny. This thing isn't even, what's that, 10% pressurized? Yeah, we got space and we got time. And now whenever we want a cold drink, we just come and slurp. We put it back, it'll refill. Grab a snack, close it up, and we're golden. Anyway, guys, that's going to be all we have done. All we have time for today. I was hoping to get to power, but we weren't able to. However, we have a brand new hydroponic setup. So not hydroponics. We have a brand new water setup. So I will be seeing you all in the next one. Cheers. And of course, a huge thank you to our channel members and patrons for the month: Couch Potato, The Senate, Kelly Ananas, Call Me Bo 82, Riley David, LCG Canyon Sahar, Knee Cruncher, Old Man Tater, Frickin' Friendly Beaver, Not K Arthur, Cut Beef Go Ham, Jack Smallman, Rivo, Adachi, I'm Alpha, Alan O'Selahair, Charlie Weber, Mermix, Mel Roman, and Officer C4. You guys rock.